Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Emily and today we're going to be doing my October wrap up plus November TBR. Yeah, it was a big reading month. I had a little bit planned which I never got to, and I also had 2 DNFs which I didn't really want to do, but at the same time I'm actually happy that I did it because it really actually helped me not be in a reading slump, because they were really slowing my reading down and not letting me be engaged in reading in general. So for October, I was planning to follow some of the prompts from Spooktober, and I had planned to read 5 books and I only read 1, and that was because it was Hollowpox, and it was like the only book I really cared about reading for last month because it came out last month. So the books I didn't get to reading was Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Prachett, which I was actually keen on reading, but I might leave it for another time when I'm a little bit more keener on reading it, because I really love the TV show, so hopefully the book is just as good. Next book I was meant to read, it's The Book Thief by Markus Zurak, which I did read when I was younger and I wanted to reread it, so that was that. And also Misery by Stephen King. I haven't really read horror nor Stephen King, so I kind of wanted to at least trial it out for the spooky month, but I didn't end up getting it to it because I had a couple of other things that I was reading. So 2 books I read this month, they were NetGalley reads, so I don't have the physical copy of them, but it was The Crowns of Croswald and The Girl with the Whispering Shadow. So both of these books, The Crowns of Croswald is the first book in the series, and the second book is The Girl with the Whispering Shadow. I really enjoyed both books. They were very reminiscent of Harry Potter, so I could see the similarities between the 2 series, but I enjoyed it, and it had enough differences for it to, you know, stand out on its own and be its own series. If I get the approval to read the 3rd book, I'll probably read that in November, so hopefully that might be something to look forward to. But it was just a really good, you know, just 2 really good book reads, middle grade reads that were pretty good, and I couldn't complain. The only thing I didn't like was that I read it on my phone, and I just can't really focus for too long periods of time reading on my phone, so that was the only issue with that. But it was still actually really enjoyable to read, and I gave both of those books 4 stars. Next 2 books I read, they're part of the series, is I've been continuing on with the Tomorrow series, so I read the 3rd and 4th book for the series, which is The Third Day of the Frost and Darkness Be My Friend. Both books were pretty decent. I'm still trying to figure out what they're going to do in the last 3 books, because it feels like there's nowhere else the books can really go, because it just feels like book after book it's just trauma after trauma, and I just don't know how much more trauma these kids can be put through, but I suppose a lot if there's 3 more books in the series. So yeah, today I'm starting the 5th book in the series, so it'll be interesting to see what Marsden will put forth in these books. Who knows? But yeah, I gave both these 4 stars. I feel like in some sense the series is deteriorating for me, but I don't know. I'll see how the next couple of books go. But overall they're still pretty decent books, and they talk a lot about like trauma and stuff like that, which is like, you know, can be quite triggering for a lot of people, but I feel like it's very enlightening the way that he's talking about it. So I would recommend these books to a lot of people. Like if you get triggered really easily with war and stuff like that, I would probably not recommend them, but overall pretty decent books. So my first DNF for the month was The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out of a Window and Disappeared by Jonasson. I really wanted to love this book. I love the concept of it, but I just couldn't get the hang of the writing style. It was really like, I don't know, it was putting me off. I suppose I'm used to more traditional styles of reading or like writing, so this one I was not really engaging with, and the characters I wasn't engaging with either, so it was just just something I wasn't engaging with, and I'm hoping that maybe one day I might be able to sit back and read this again and actually enjoy it, because I feel like it does have that potential. It's just that I was not engaging with it properly, and it was starting to get me into a slump. So about halfway through I stopped reading it, and I'm actually glad I stopped reading it. But there is the second book which I have, so hopefully I'll be able to read the duology one day, but not today. So the next book I read in October was one of my highly anticipated reads for this month, I suppose, because I only really discovered Nevermore like 3 months ago now, which was Hollowpox. I absolutely enjoyed this book so much. I loved it. I read it, devoured it in like 5 days. Absolutely enjoyed this chunky book. It is such a good middle grade. I enjoyed every moment reading it, and just the character of Morrigan and her friends, like absolutely enjoyed. You know, just the whole scenery of Nevermore is just beautiful, and every time I read it, it's just spectacular, and I love it, and I cannot wait for more. Which I think there's meant to be, I think Jessica Townsend is signed on for 3 more books, I think. I'm not sure, and she wants to write 9 books in total for the series. So I am keen for however many more books she writes, but I am keen for any of them, honestly. After this book, it was amazing. It is a little reminiscent of today's world, but obviously this book was meant to be published in February. So obviously Jessica did not know what was going to happen this year, but it was still a really, really good. My next book that I DNF'd was The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I was about 250 pages in when I DNF'd this. It was just getting long, boring. It just felt like it was going on and on and on and on. It was just not really my style. It just felt boring. It didn't feel like there was a point to the story in general, and I just wasn't really happy with the story. I had to stop reading it. I was reading it for a reading vlog. You'll see that in a week or 2 now. Yeah, I feel like even though I didn't finish the book, it still gives an opinion, and it still gives an overall understanding of what I was expecting and what I thought would be expected from it. But overall, not a huge fan. Don't know if I'll ever reread it. I want to reread it just to give it a second chance and actually try and digest it a bit more slowly, because I was trying to rush it. Yeah, so I think if I give it the time, it might be actually a good book, but we'll see. I'll see when I get there, which I don't think will be now or in like a year or 2. So the last book on my list is As Old as Time by Liz Braswell. This one was actually really surprising. I didn't know if I was actually going to like it, because I really liked the concept. I didn't know if I'd actually like the storytelling, because when I see something written and kind of like commissioned by Disney, I kind of am a little bit skeptical, like, is it just going to be a money grab? Is it just not going to be worth it? And I am happy to say that this is worth it. I don't know, it was just an amazing story to read. It was just a nice, different perspective from what we had already been given in like the movie, and it's mainly based on the movie. I haven't actually read the fairy tale for Beauty and the Beast, but this one is based on the movie that Disney made, not on the original fairy tale. But it was actually a really decent read. I really enjoyed it. I laughed. I didn't really cry, but I was sad when things were sad, and it was overall like a really decent book. The plot moved like pretty decently, so it didn't feel slow. It felt like it was at a good pace. It just really made me feel happy. I gave it 4 stars. It wasn't like going to be my next favorite. I think that's just because I'm not the biggest fan of Disney princesses, but it was actually a really decent read, and I actually enjoyed the perspective that this book gave to a beloved fairy tale. So time for my November TBR. So when I found out that there was going to be the Believathon in November, I was excited, and I am been looking forward to doing it, because I really want to get more into middle grade, because this year I've kind of discovered that middle grade fantasies are particularly something I really enjoy, and a lot of them are easy reads for me, so it's just really nice to have an easy read that I can enjoy really nicely. So I'm going to do Believathon, and I'm hoping that the books I picked for Believathon will fit in with the prompts for the $1,000 readathon. I find that the $1,000 readathon, it sounds like such a cool concept and such a cool idea. Like, not being able to do your TBR like beforehand, you can only figure it out as you go along with the readathon, which I find that really cool. So I'm hoping it will work for me. I'm not too sure if it will, but hopefully it will. But books I have picked are A Tale of Magic by Colfer. I don't know, I know this isn't the original Land of Stories book, like it is a part of that series, but it's separate to that series. I haven't actually read the Land of Stories. I'm gonna plan on getting them like in a box set one day, so I'm just gonna save money to get that. I'm looking forward to at least reading this. Hopefully I don't really need to read the Land of Stories books before reading it, but I think from looking I don't need to, but I think it's more preferred, but we'll see how we go. It is chunky, so I may skip on it depending on how much time I have this month. Next is Skulduggery Present by Landy. I've heard a lot of good things about this, mainly from my partner, but I'm kind of excited to read about a dead guy. I don't know why, but it sounds really fun and really exciting and looking forward to it. And hopefully I might actually start reading the series a bit off and on if I enjoy this book. Next books are, well, I'm hoping to get through both, but we'll see, is The Land of Raw plus The Return to Raw. I've heard a lot of good things, particularly from Gaiman as well as J.D. Ray reads. So hopefully I enjoy these as well. The covers are beautiful and the art style is amazing. So hopefully the art style lives up to the hope is in the story. But they look like easy reads, so I should be able to easily devour them. Next is a bit of a different one. It's Hitler's Daughter by Jackie French. I read this when I was like 10 years old in primary school, and I really want to give it another go because I remember enjoying the story, and it was my first perspective to actually learning about World War II and Hitler and stuff like that. So it's only like 130 pages, so it should be a quick read. And I'm looking forward to rereading this. I know when I was given the book by my school to read, my mum also read it and she also enjoyed it. So it kind of plays on the point of Hitler having a secret daughter. So it's kind of like conspiracy theory, but it's not, it's like alluding to a conspiracy theory, and it's being told through a young boy's eyes. So hopefully it's as good as I remember it from 10-year-old me. Anyway, the last book on my list is Artemis Fowl by Eoin Colfer. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this. I'm not the biggest on especially computer sci-fi, but I hope I enjoy it. I don't know, we'll see, but I think it will be a decent book to read, especially with Believathon and stuff. So I'm hoping that 1,000 Doors will suit all of these reads for November. Anyway, that is my TBR for November and my wrap up for October. If you enjoyed, subscribe, like, comment, share video, do what you want. I would really appreciate it, and follow me on my social medias, they're linked down below. And until next time, bye!